Kathy Wood's Cup of Soul show. We have to do it. Que lo que?
¿Qué lo que?
Absolutely. I adore the series, and I'm so thrilled for you as an actor. Talk a little bit about it was like playing Colin, because it's always harder when you play someone who's alive and you're telling their story. You want to stay true to their to their identity, to their voice.
Yeah, it's difficult because you have a little bit less freedom and what you can do. You have to find their mannerisms and emulate them, and find their voice and emulate their voice. So that can be difficult or challenging or daunting. But I feel like because he's alive, there's also a lot of resources for me. I feel like he probably doesn't like being in the camera too much, but the videos that are around are very helpful. And he did provide a lot of archival footage for me to work with and for the crew to work with, which is really nice. But more than that, I feel like the major difficulty of the project was that Colin shared the screen with me. So, in most biopics, you can have a little bit of freedom and liberty in your character because the audience can't directly compare you to the real life person. But because Colin is on screen with me, every mistake I make is highlighted.
Absolutely. One of the things that hit home, especially for us as Black people, are the microaggressions, right? The things people say, and you're like,
You didn't mean that, did you?
that, because it's like, we have to pick our battles. You know what I mean? Do you correct that? You have to think about the space. So imagine, and like also as a younger person, like when a lot of this stuff happened to him, you got around this, you're like around that age now, but even younger, where you're like, what is happening? What was that like, where you kind of like have to try to navigate what you're saying is wrong, especially, him not getting an opportunity to start at quarterback when he was better, you know what I mean? Those type of battles. What was that like?
I feel sort of connected to Colin in that way. I was lucky enough to be born and raised in New York City, a melting pot of cultures and ethnicities, and not whitey whiteville in California like Turlock. So for that extent, my home was very diverse and beautiful, but there was still a part of my Black history and my Black roots that I was disconnected with. And more importantly, because of the entertainment industry and how white it can be, I've often felt like confused as to why I've missed out on certain opportunities. I remember going out for a test where the character was supposed to play Halle Berry's son, and the two kids going up for the role were me and a white kid. And I was like, how is this kid here? How is he going to play Halle Berry's son? And I remember him jumping on the couches and running around and screaming. And I'm just sitting there trying to understand how he got this far. And I was like, there's no way a white kid could play Halle Berry's son. And lo and behold, he could, and he would play Halle Berry's son. And, it disturbed me for years. I blamed myself, and I felt very guilty for not having gotten the part. And I, as I've matured and learned more about my society and about the world and the industry, I've realized a lot of that rejection wasn't my fault,
Absolutely. And last, what do you want people to take away from? Because there's so much, about Colin that is just the chapter about him not being able to play professionally, that we forget that he was a whole person who was extremely talented. What is it that you want the public to take away from that, from seeing the series?
I hope young Black and brown biracial teens who are confused of where they belong can find some sort of solace in knowing that they are like Colin, a legend and a force for change, having those similarities and issues and complications in resonance with his. I know it helped me a lot with a lot of stuff I've been through. So I hope other young people feel the same way or can connect to it in that way. But I also hope that those who may be miseducated or misunderstanding the Black culture and the Black experience can have a little bit more context to what it's like.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Best of luck. And I'm thrilled for you.
Thank you so much. I hope to speak with you again.
Thank you.